Onondaga Community College President Casey Crable, and I'm honored to have a moment to say thank you to Dan Cummings. I'm doing it from a place that's very familiar to him. This news set I'm on used to be in the Channel 9 studios, where Dan anchored thousands of newscasts. Today, it's in our studios here at OCC, where students in our Broadcast Media Communications degree program work and learn every day. In fact, as I speak with you right now, there are students behind the cameras and in our control room producing and recording this message. If you watch Dan deliver the news every day, you know that he's a reliable and trustworthy friend we can count on. Our students who learned from Dan and our campus community feel the same way about him. Whether he was in a classroom teaching here for more than 20 years or emceeing one of our many events. Dan, as we congratulate you on the conclusion of a remarkable career, we'd like to present you with a sign of our gratitude. You will always be part of the OCC family, and we hope you'll visit us often. Thanks for everything.
It's an honor for me to honor Dan Cummings as he approaches his retirement. Dan has been the quintessential neighbor to thousands of people in Central New York. His professional ethics always beyond reproach. He's a class act who cares deeply about the community, always has his finger on the pulse of what's happening and how people are impacted in Syracuse and Central New York. He will be deeply, deeply missed. And of course, on a personal note, I thank him for trusting Lemoyne College with educating his children. We love you, Dan. God bless you.
Congratulations, Dan, on your upcoming retirement, and thank you so much for all you've done for Loretto throughout the years.
Thank you and happy retirement.
Congratulations on 37 fantastic years. Good luck in retirement.
We're gonna miss your face, Dan.
Thank you. Speaker, I rise today to honor the renowned 37-year career of news anchor Dan Cummings from Channel 9. For nearly 4 decades, Dan Cummings has been one of the most trusted names in local news and has earned a well-deserved reputation for his integrity and investigative prowess. A native of Cayuga County, Dan grew up in Central New York and got his start in journalism working at local radio stations. In 1984, Dan joined the News Channel 9 team and in 2008 began anchoring the morning news, later becoming the driving force behind Newsmakers, a weekly public affairs program. In these prominent roles, Dan Cummings has been celebrated for his ability to conduct smart, original reporting and communicate even the most difficult stories in a calm and straightforward manner. I've known Dan Cummings for many years, and I can unequivocally say he is one of the most fair and genuine news professionals and an extremely generous man who is actively involved with multiple charities. Madam Speaker, I ask that my colleagues in the House join me in honoring Dan Cummings for an incredible career in broadcast journalism and wish him the best in his retirement. And with that, I yield back.
Dan Cummings, assignment editor, no job for a novice. He's the one individual who knows what's going on every moment, assigning crews to cover stories as they break.
Coverage you can count on. With Dan Cummings,
we're proud to cover Central New York's news. Good evening, everyone. It has been a wild night. I'm standing now just outside the parking lot of the DeWitt Town Hall. And what's happening right now around Central New York?
This latest and most stunning development yet. The first big storm of '94 does its worst.
There's something mundane but very necessary, dishwashing detergent. So far, the bug is a bust. Our live coverage continues now from Hancock International Airport, where Nancy Duffy is standing by. Hancock has been closed since 10 o'clock this morning, like every World Trade Center, heavy damage to the Pentagon. On the home front, it's all about security, with the nation on orange alert, even here in Central New York.
Well, they do get their share of wicked weather in Oswego, don't they?
And nobody from the Dome has even come down yet. There may be 8,000 people were watching inside the Carrier Dome on the big screen television.
News is breaking in both the town of DeWitt and in the city of Syracuse.
Rod, to say it was a busy day here at the 911 Center would be a gross understatement.
These 2 remaining at-large suspects are keeping a very low profile.
Fire started a little after 3 o'clock this morning at the old factory, very old.
The world premiere of The Express is less than an hour away now, and guess who's with me overlooking the orange carpet? Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Quaid portrayed Ben Schwartz. Yeah, he's here, and he has signed every autograph in town.
On the steps of the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Welcome to the Eternal City of Rome. And good evening, everybody, for this special edition of Newsmakers. Good to have you along. Welcome to this final debate. What Honor Flight does is gives those veterans who are still living and breathing
Professional Standards Award, along with numerous other awards.
Well, good morning. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Dan Cummings.
For your TV debut, you know, and it's not his birthday. We just thought we had a cute puppy in the building. Why not put him on television? We won't do this every day, we promise.
Good morning. It's 4:30. I'm Dan Cummings, and we're following breaking news at this hour, one of the worst wildfire tragedies in our nation's history. Every year, the ride, the movie with a mission, but you can give. We got closer to the pontiff than I dreamed that we could have. Well, good morning. It's 5 o'clock on Friday, December 17th. I'm Dan Cummings.
As a younger journalist working at News Center 7 in Ithaca, I can remember turning on the TV in the newsroom on Labor Day. Yes, that Labor Day. And Dan was sitting here with nothing. There was no power here at News Channel 9. And I saw Dan on that Labor Day still doing a broadcast, however you pieced it together that day, and delivering that information on a day that was so crucial and that information was so important to people's lives. And I looked at Dan on that Labor Day and said, that's what I want to be. That's who I want to be, is that guy right there. Thick or thin, no matter what's going on, I can still deliver the important information to the viewers.
Dan Cummings, I miss you, I love you, and I am so incredibly happy for you. You were my rock and my confidant at News Channel 9, a lifelong mentor, and I will forever have a special bond and the utmost respect for you and your amazing family. Now, I am in mourning, just like the rest of the Central New York community, knowing the world of broadcast news will never, ever be quite the same. The networks got Dan Rather and David Muir, but we got Dan Cummings. And I think I can say that we won. You are the quintessential journalist, and I want to extend my profound gratitude to you for simply being you. Sending all the love from Texas.
Dan Cummings has never strayed too far from home. He grew up in King Ferry, a tiny hamlet north of Ithaca, in the heart of the Finger Lakes. The son of Jane and Gordon Cummings, his mom was a nurse, his pop a professor at Cornell who served during the Second World War, something that helped shape Dan's own character. After college at Geneseo and Cornell, Dan went to work in radio in Ithaca and Syracuse. He came to News Channel 9 in 1984 and stayed, moving from the assignment desk to assistant news director, and then his real love, reporting and anchoring. Along the way, he and his bride Danielle have raised 2 children, Anna and Jonah. Through the years, Dan earned a reputation as one of Central New York's leading journalists among his colleagues and the audience. He brought depth, with the ability to break down tough topics and make them clear and easier to understand. Within the newsroom, Dan has clearly been a leader, a mentor for young journalists, a sounding board on tough editorial decisions, the go-to guy for breaking news coverage. For over 13 years now, Dan has gotten up early to help motivate the rest of us to start our day as anchor on the morning news, starting every morning at 4:30. Despite those hours, Dan has been a constant presence throughout the community, emceeing forums and fundraising events night after night. He's received some of Central New York's highest honors, including being named Grand Marshal of the Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade. And in the end, one of the broadcast industry's top honors, a Regional Emmy Award for Veterans' Voices, a fitting tribute for his career of service.
And the Emmy goes to Veterans Voices, WSYR-TV, Syracuse.
For Dan to go out on top like that, you know, to earn that award, it's just a true testament to the work and the job that he's done.
It brought tears to his eyes, our eyes. We were jumping up and down. Quite memorable experience.
Dan, when he chooses to be part of a project, he truly does immerse himself in.
These veterans' voices have much to tell us about humility and heroism.
To see Dan interact with these veterans, listening to them,
and that is how
engaging them, you could see how Dan genuinely cares about these men and women. It is so important to him that he gets everything perfect because he is so committed to telling their stories to the viewers at home.
There are very few evenings where Dan is home, kicked back in the recliner, hanging out with his wife, Danielle, or his kids. He is here, there, and everywhere whether it's for the diocese or Hope for the Bereaved. He has emceed countless events. He's always out in the community. Dan is seen as someone who cares about the community, is kind of a pillar. He's solid. You know what you're going to get with Dan.
He's always revered in high regard. With any organization that I've seen him interact with, they always speak of him as like a treasure.
You see people on TV, they feel they know you, but Dan has also done a great job to make sure that he's out, whether he's reporting or working an event or emceeing something or just out being a community member, grocery shopping. People got a chance to meet Dan, so they actually know Dan, and I think that's really special for them.
Dan chose mornings for a number of reasons, to be more present and to be more active in the community.
News Channel 9 at Success by 6, where our news anchors would interview the kids and let the kids interview them on a video that they could take home, and Dan was such a natural with that. He treated every kid with respect, just as he does every human being, and you know, gave them a chance to really feel like they were a big shot.
What do you say about a guy that's dedicated 40 years of his life, almost 40 years of his life, to this station and this community? I remember the day that Dan was told he was going to be the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, and the honor and pride that he took that message, and walking down Salina Street with him was really cool.
He just glowed, absolutely glowed, when he and his family walked down Nancy Duffy Way, South Salina Street on Parade Day. It really meant something to him as a professional, meant something to him in carrying on his family traditions, and just having fun.
Dan has been committed to people in Central New York for so many years that it's hard to put a value on it.
If you ask him, I need this, he's going to deliver to you what you're looking for, and he's always going to give 110%.
Dan, first and foremost, Jackie, Lauren, and I wish you congratulations and best wishes on your retirement. Remember, a good life is when you smile often, dream big, laugh a lot, and realize how blessed you are for what you have. Because of my daughter, I met a great man. I learned very early that if you don't speak the lost loved one's name, you're dishonoring them. So he has made it easier for me to enjoy the memories better. As I've told a number of people, I've never cried and smiled at the same time until this happened. But Dan showed me how to be able to connect those two and realize the importance of that.
Dan Cummings in this newsroom, well, let's start with the fact that he set the gold standard. He would never ask anybody to do something that he wasn't willing to do himself. I often would think of him as the moral compass of our newsroom, both in front of the camera and behind the camera. And whether it was covering a pope, covering a tragedy, or covering a fun parade, he did it with dedication and passion and the epitome of professionalism. So he set the bar really high for everybody here, and his legacy will live on for decades.
Well, Dan's personable, he's humble, he's soft-spoken.
A mentor, leader.
You could not have asked for a more courteous, kinder, nicer coworker.
Prepared.
Good sense of humor.
Amazing.
Passion for the community.
Dan's funny, he's great to be around. I think of sunshine.
He's ethical, he's intelligent, he's someone that I think we all trust.
He's that calm person with that institutional knowledge that he's kind of our rock.
A guy like Dan just really knows how to just smooth out the situation, add a little humor, add some seriousness when he needs to.
He was such a wonderful role model.
He's a mentor, he's a guide, a teacher. He's taught all of us.
What you see on camera is truly what you get. He is one of the most phenomenal individuals I have ever met.
He's a good man with a good heart.
At the very core, a kind person.
He's sensitive. I mean, come on, we've all seen him cry on television. You know, not that many news people do that, but he's raw. What you see is what you get.
He's humble, and he strives to tell the news in an honest and succinct way that not many can anymore.
He's one of those kind of guys that you look at and you want to know what he has to say and what he has to think. You know, you're really looking for his opinion on things because he's like a father figure. You know, you can trust him and you feel at ease with Dan.
He's good to the core, and he'll do just about anything for somebody, and to the point where he'll be exhausted.
If you were going to start a newsroom from scratch, you would want 10 people with the integrity, the professionalism, and the humor of a Dan Cummings.
Before joining the morning team here, so many people said, oh, you could learn so much from Dan. Think of what he could teach you. And they're absolutely right. Dan has made me a better anchor, a stronger journalist, a better person. And working with him every morning has been a dream. But Dan gave me something beyond that. I'll never forget the day Dan said, you know, I could learn a few things from you too. And that, coming from him, gave me a deeper level of confidence in myself I didn't even know I needed. That was validation from the guy people idolize in news. And if I ever have any doubts, I can remind myself, Dan Cummings doesn't have any doubts about me. And there are no words to adequately describe how significant that is.
I guess he's known as the newsman, but at home he's really, he puts being a dad ahead of being the news guy.
Family's first. We've always been his #1 cheerleaders.
What are your emotions as Dan says farewell to Central New York on television?
Mixed. Mixed for sure. As his wife, I'm so very happy for him.
I don't know if he's as aware as he should be of how proud we are of him.
He's a kind person, and he practices that every single day with his family, with his job. The coolest part for me about growing up and watching him now is to get more of an inside scoop of the way he interacts with his coworkers and learning just how much counsel he's given to them in the past, young reporters coming through and mentoring them to continue to chase after their individual goals and dreams. Talk about being a cheerleader. He really supports the people in his workplace, and that's certainly something I hope to emulate. So proud, yes.
I'm very proud of the way he's handled himself. You know, for someone that's always in the public eye, especially in Syracuse, he makes very few mistakes. He is true to himself, and he's true to speaking honestly and with integrity. And really, what's most impressive and what I'm most proud of is how he can relate to anyone that he's talking to through a screen. He has this way about him that you would think he's your friend or your dad because you're so comfortable listening to him every day, and he's just so good at relating to the common person. And I think that's what makes him great.
I was amazed with him early in my career. I would put all this work into the show. The guest, do background on the guest, have all these questions lined up and then little fact boxes that he could fill in, and he'd run into new channels. We would be live at 7. He'd literally run it at 5 to 7. And I'd say, do you have any questions? And he goes, and he'd throw the script down on the floor as he's miking up. I can still see it. And he'd say, I haven't looked at it yet. And I'd be like, oh, are you kidding me? He has this God-given talent to take things in, and he can spit them out, and he knows what they are. I don't know if it's a photographic memory. I don't know what it is, but I have been amazed with what he can do.
Congratulations to my dad, and decades of service and doing what he does so well and being the face of Syracuse, New York news, and I'm just super proud of him. He's in an era of his own, and I think he will be remembered for a long time in Syracuse news.
I hope that in everything I do and every interaction I have with people, it exhibits the same kind of empathy and care that you can see even through a television screen. He just cares about people and wants to put himself in their shoes.
Well, Dan Cummings, you are going to make me dinner at least twice a week. I'm just going to let you know that, and it's not going to be a frozen dinner. But just how incredibly, I guess you said it, full of mixed emotion I am, because I really am going to miss Dan Cummings on TV.
Here's a real blast from Dan's past, about 25 years ago, and the anchor desk on 9 News Now. Dan and I worked together for a few years, and in that time, he was ridiculously kind. The nicest person you could ever work with. No matter how bad was the news, Dan was good all the time. Whip smart, that took about a half second to figure out. And he cares so deeply about Central New York and Central New Yorkers. So Dan, I say congratulations on your retirement, and I hope you have many years of relaxation, good health, and lots of fun ahead.
He doesn't have to wake up at 2:45 in the morning and literally rush out the door. I won't tell you how quick before the news starts.
News starts at 4:30. Everything operated on Dan time. So don't get nervous until it's 4:28.
Well, there was this one morning. Nah, we won't go there.
When I was doing the morning news, I could kind of gauge if I was running behind or if I was in good shape to be ready for 4:30. If I was in the bathroom getting my makeup in and I could hear the door open at 4:25 because I knew that that was when Dan was coming in.
Run in, take off his boots, put his jacket on. Good morning, I'm Dan Cummings, without missing a beat.
Dan, he is the ad-lib master.
No.
You could do it all.
Shut the door. Shut the front door. No.
I'll say, oh, 30's an eternity in news. That's a Danism. Or we'll be deep in conversation and Amanda starts to count us down. She's like, okay, we're back in 10, 9, 8. And I'll say, more later, now this. And that came from Dan.
Every morning there's depressing news and he somehow makes you smile. He throws his tie behind his neck and shoulder to eat his apple or his dry cereal, which by the way is cereal without milk. It's just cereal, but he calls it dry cereal. He runs out of the studio between almost every commercial break, and there are some days we don't know if he's going to make it back. And somehow what you don't see on TV is him running through the studio, getting there with literally 1 second to spare, and then just speaking as if he was standing there the entire time.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Dan Cummings.
And
She's got the giggles. Probably that purple
Dan
soup.
tripped. I'm sorry. I really cannot
Let's go
keep it
to the weather with Kate Thornton.
You're talking to me, guys. We're fine until Melissa starts laughing. I And then it all goes. Oh, man. Oh, and somehow you're holding it together.
Well, at least one of us has
That's
to.
because he's a professional. He can do it.
Well, I was a producer in the morning, and Dan, just tell me what's going on, and I'll let the viewers know. Yeah, the viewers always felt a comfort level. You know, when Dan was on the air, they were comfortable, whether it was, a special report, a serious story, or, Dan gets to show his sense of humor in the morning news. That format allows for that.